Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos podcast.
I need it!
Hey, how are you?
This is amazing.
What's good, everybody? It is your boy, the Undercover Brother, back again for another episode of the Bromigos podcast. I'm joined by the homies.
It's the Hoochie, man.
Yeah, and Daint money. You know what it is.
Daint
we out
energy.
here.
We holding it down. We stay grinding. We stay pounding. We stay slamming and banging and chain ganging. Whatever it is the kids say nowadays.
Nope, not me.
Listen, you
me.
yelled at me for shit I said last episode. Now you got to say that to him now.
No, Hunter gets a pass. Oh,
yeah. Oh, fuck you.
Hunter gets a
You get a dick
pass.
for that one.
I'm going on trial later, so I guess.
Yeah, well, you're going on trial right now, actually. I'm going to put you on trial now because you out here fucking saying some wild shit on the fucking Bromigos timeline. Telling women they got to be in the kitchen instead of talking about sports. I'm not fucking around. I ain't fucking around. He literally went on the Bromigos scout and said, "This is why women belong in the kitchen instead of talking about sports." And I'm saying, like, what the fuck is the matter with
you? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
That's a wild man.
Hey, man.
That's a wild
Listen,
man.
I don't know what's on Hunter. I don't know what's been going on with Hunter these last couple of months, but he's been on some women hating bullshit, bro.
You know what? That's what happens when they don't give it up. You start hating on the bitches.
Oh, it's not even that. This particular one is a Cleveland Browns fan, and all across Twitter, every year the Browns fans are coming after Steelers fans for whatever reason. They think that Browns are better, Steelers suck, they're gonna finish last, Browns are gonna win the Super Bowl. It's like every fucking year, but same old shit happens. Tomlin finds a way. Steelers have a winning record. Browns just seem to fuck off, but apparently this year they're doing good because they got Joe Flacco back. But it's not the point. The point is, people think Myles Garrett is Defensive Player of the Year. I have an issue with that. You know why I have an issue with that? Is because TJ Watt, right, has better stats in almost every single category than Myles Garrett. Yet somehow Myles Garrett is seen as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, which I have an issue with that. So
does that justify fucking telling a woman to go to the fucking kitchen?
I'm getting to the point. Basically, this woman is part of the Browns fan base, Twitter, all over it, and she pisses me off. And the fact that she can sit there and say about, oh, TJ Watt's undeserving of Defensive Player of the Year and how Myles Garrett deserves this, Browns deserve this, Browns are better than Pittsburgh. That's never the case. It's never going to be the case. Pittsburgh's always better. TJ Watt's better than Myles Garrett. And you know what? I flew off the handle. I don't have a problem with women watching sports and getting into it. Good for you. But when you're sitting there preaching about bullshit that's not true, don't do that.
Then why can't you just be respectful about it?
No.
Like, come on. If you're on the fucking podcast account, that's all of us you're representing with that statement. I mean, goddamn. I mean, I have friends. Of course you don't give a fuck.
I didn't put my name on it.
Yeah, but I know it's you. Everybody knows it's you. The only person that talks about the fucking Steelers on that account, for Christ's sake. I think we gotta take a vote, or not, maybe not now, but let's let the people take a vote. Does Hoochie Man keep the Hoochie Man moniker after all this woman hating he's been doing?
Of course he does. Of course he does. Of course he has to.
I don't have a problem. Like I said, I don't have a problem with women getting into sports, but when you're preaching about bullshit that's not true, that's when I have an issue.
You know? That's terrible, man.
It's called respectful discourse, for Christ's sake.
No, it's just called ignoring.
You have a mother, for God's sake, man.
Yeah,
you have a mother.
I love my mother. I don't treat her with disrespect. I don't understand why it's got to be all about family. Like, I love my family. I love all the women on the side of my family.
But you hate women, for sure.
It's only a few, all right? God forbid I have a dislike for a few women on the face of this planet. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Like,
you know, this is why they get upset when people get a mic and start a podcast, because conversations like these, this is what gets us in trouble. This is what gets people in trouble. This is what gets us in trouble. Like, we went to school for this shit.
Listen, it's not like we're interviewing a bunch of OnlyFans girls and fucking saying some wild shit to them, you know.
And, you know, I love watching those.
They're
clips.
so weird though. Like the guys come off so fucking weird about it though. Like
they come off like like some dickheads, but then they really be spitting some knowledge. Like now they really be spitting some knowledge. Like and they got all the OnlyFans girls there. And I think the last one I saw was like, oh, all right, so the dude was hosting was basically what you saying is, I could be a bum, I could stay home, play video games, do whatever I want, but I deserve a bad bitch. And then all the homies were like, yeah, king, yeah, you deserve a bad bitch. And then they all sat there silent, like, wait, no, that's not what I meant. But I mean,
it's not what you meant, but it's what you said. But I understand that point of view. But here's my thing, though. You ever notice that they always get the, with all due respect, the not so bright girls to come on? I mean, there's not a whole lot of intelligent women that I see that try to have discourse with these guys. I feel like they got to have a better mix of the bunch.
There's not a lot of intelligent women making OnlyFans accounts either. So I mean, when in doubt, sell my body.
I mean, would you do it? Honest question, would you do it if you had the opportunity?
Fuck yeah, I would. But it's the thing. See, I don't have a problem with starting the OnlyFans. I don't. But don't act like you somebody because you selling pictures of your titties or bikini pics because people subscribing $5-10 a month to look at your pictures and videos. Like, don't act like you doing something in life. I just don't like that when you act like, oh yeah, I'm balling, I'm that bitch, it's like you're nothing but a glorified porn star unless people know you. That's all you is.
Tier 3
Like,
porn star.
I really don't have a problem with OnlyFans. I don't, and I'm not gonna make
nobody
a
should, to be honest.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, if you can't make bread any other way, but my thing is that don't think that deems respect from anybody, male or female. Like some people just don't respect the fact that okay, like things aren't working out in life. Fuck it, I'll make an OnlyFans account. Some women have that luxury, and I mean, if you look that good and dudes are dumb enough to pay to see you naked, cool. That's on them. But I'm just like, it's a hobby. For some women, it's a job if they make enough money off that. But at some point, it's like, where does the respect factor come in? Like, if you use it as a model account, cool. But you know what I'm saying? If you got an Instagram page, you lost your job, you ain't really working or whatever, and then 2 weeks later, I find out, ooh, click the link in my bio. Speaking on that, now we're gonna make it a conversation. You know what I hate? When I click the link and it says exclusive content. Bitch, we know you got an OnlyFans. Like, stop acting like it's something special. It's like, oh, it's exclusive content only seen on my page. No, I can see that exclusive content on Pornhub, X videos. Reddit.
That's more the porn stars that do it, though. With all due respect, of course.
They all do it. I've been following one of these chicks on Instagram since I was in high school, right? Bad bitch. She has a clothing company. There's a clothing brand, and she, makes graphic tees and everything. Oh man, it's just dope.
That's right up your alley.
She's dope. That's not why I followed her. She has a big booty, but for a while, she used to post pictures of her and her kid. Right, past 4 or 5 months, no picture of her and her kid. Then I look at then I click the link in the bio.
Shit.
Exclusive spicy content.
Oh shit.
Oh, no.
Did she delete the other photos of her kid?
Where is your autistic daughter? She used to poke picture all the time. I have an autistic daughter. It's really hard, living life, being a parent for an autistic child. But you got that link in the bio, right?
What?
Mommy,
or not to speak because if I speak, big trouble.
Mommy, you have so much money now. Where'd you get it? Oh. Random guys pay to see me play with my pussy online.
Hey yo, straight up though. I made a New Year's resolution this year. Mm-hmm. No more OnlyFans shit. I was getting a little wild with that last year.
Oh,
wait.
Oh, come on. You're acting surprised that the guy who went to the porn convention had.
Yeah, you act surprised. Let's be honest here. Come on.
You're right. I don't even know why I'm there. I don't know why I'm like. At least Matt is financially supporting struggling female actresses. That's what he's doing. That's what we're just gonna say he's doing. That's what he's doing. Yep. Financially supporting struggling female actresses. suck dick from time to time.
Damn near going fucking broke because of it. Shit.
Okay, my brother in Christ.
1-800-Pornhub.
My
Got
brother
an
in
issue.
Christ. My
Listen,
brother.
It ain't gambler. It's porn addiction.
I had a moment of weakness for several months at a time.
Man, bitch dependency is no laughing matter.
No, I know it's not. Jesus Christ,
Man.
Oh man, for real. No, I was having a tough time last year, man, and I guess one of the few things that got me through a tough time was adult content. I don't know. It's wild to say. It's wild to say, but I'm gonna come clean about it. You know, there might have been a chance I was borderline porn addiction.
Bro, you could just get a Pornhub premium account and you chilling.
Not even. You can just Google it and then just find different links.
That's true. Listen, that's why I'm coming clean.
Bro, do you need some websites? I got you. I know them all. I know them all.
Oh man,
I've been doing this for years.
I'm sure you have.
Listen, if you're buying OnlyFans content of porn stars who post their ass and titties on like Pornhub or X videos or whatever, then
that shit's been going wild on Twitter. If you notice too,
what
they've been. The OnlyFans girls been going hard on Twitter with the promoting.
Yeah, Twitter porn is real too. I found that out like not too long ago because I just started getting on Twitter.
You just found out?
I mean, I was
welcome
never
to
really,
my world.
I was never really on Twitter like that.
Yeah,
and then
now
I'm starting to understand threads now, like threads on Twitter and shit. And like, yo, be like, oh, Twitter porn thread. You click the thread, just like, whoa, and it's crazy. It's like crazy shit, like shit you don't even see on Pornhub. Wild shit.
The wild ones are like, oh, big booty thread, big titties thread, and then it's like all these chicks are post their pictures, and I'm just like,
yo, this is genius marketing.
Oh, for real,
genius,
phenomenal marketing,
genius marketing.
The more we talk about this,
just post this picture shirtless, and you'll get 1,000 followers. That's genius. It's genius.
We keep talking about this. We're gonna end up on a fucking list. Speaking of lists. There's another list that's been making the rounds.
I'm not on that list.
We're not on that list, thank God. We didn't go to the island, but we know of a few people that did.
Oh my God.
Man. Hey, I'm just saying the Beehive been real quiet since Beyonce was found on the list. I'm just
Whoa. She was on that list too?
Was she?
The Beehive been real quiet. The Beehive been real quiet. That's all I'm saying. The Beehive has been mad quiet since Beyonce showed up.
Was Jay-Z
everybody was on the list. Everybody, I know Will Smith was on the list. I'm sure Jay-Z was probably on the list. You gotta remember, like everybody that was on the list wasn't doing all that wild shit. They like Epstein had parties. You gotta think about it. Famous people know other famous people. So if they go to a famous people party, other famous people gonna show up. So it's like just because now Bill Clinton was fucking them kids. Okay, Bill Clinton was fucking them kids. He was yes. Bill Clinton was
not had sexual relations with Monica, but instead with the little 5-year-olds on the island that Epstein brought me on. Come on,
that's just nasty, bro. My man Stephen Hawking, Stephen Hawking, a horny freaky fuck, man.
This is the best day of my life.
Did you see what he liked, what he was into?
So like was Steven, orgies, right?
He like, I don't know how the fuck that happens, but like,
oh yes, look at all these women,
bro. I mean, the most Stephen Hawking could do, they can just have him dangling off a bed and just, anyways. But
we don't need that image in our heads.
I'm sorry. Let's be honest. So Stephen Hawking apparently liked having naked midgets try to do math equations on blackboards that were too tall for them to reach. And I'm just like, come on, bro. Come on now. Really? That's what we done.
What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Even I could just see him now. Oh, yeah. That looks so good.
Oh, you got to carry the 5. Oh, carry it more.
Carry
the 5 too.
Carry the 9.
Solve for X.
Please do quadratic formula. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Pythagorean theorem overload.
Can you
I don't
please
know.
solve Einstein's theory of
My man was
relativity?
my
Oh,
man was
yes.
horny. My man was horny. My man was on some super horny shit. And it said that Bill Clinton liked the younger girls, which isn't surprising. We all know my man Bill has a illustrious infatuation for women, but young girls, he like young meat. He don't eat beef. He eats veal. You know what I'm saying? He likes
He likes the fawns. He don't like the doe or the bucks.
That was out of pocket.
I mean, sorry. but-
Jail.
Hey, man.
Sorry, but-
Hey, I know where Margaritaville is now. It's on Epstein Island. Because Jimmy Buffett was on that list too.
Dang.
Damn, they got Jimmy too, man.
Dang.
The
Oh,
dad
Dang,
rock
not
kid.
Jimmy. And they got Jimmy too. Oh shit.
Man.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hey man.
Who else did they get then?
I don't know who else is on the list.
Oh,
Can we
Alec
pull the list
Baldwin
up?
on the list.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
See if we could pull the list up, because I'm actually just mad curious. You know, I just want to know.
It's not even the full list. Like, the full list is not even out yet. Apparently, they're releasing it like week by week, like a bunch of names. There's like 400 some odd pages already, maybe more by now. But
Oh, holy cock! I'm not reading all this.
like a fucking
Yeah.
reading a novel.
Yep, this guy. I just wanted to see who's on the list, guys. Holy shit!
I think I noticed something too. They got a bunch of code names on there too for some of the people. Like, I think Stephen Hawking went by some sort of code name. A few other, I think Clinton went by a code name or something.
Bro, this document is over 2,000 pages.
No,
It's a
you're
lot.
kidding.
I just went through it. Went to this.
That's
2,000.
fucking wild. And they still have it. They have to add to it. They got to add to it.
Do you know how many children had to be penetrated
I don't want to know.
to
What
have
the
a
fuck?
2,000 page documentation? For a 2,000 page documentation, there were a lot of children violated on that island.
God, I feel so bad.
That's terrible.
And we know Giselle Maxwell ain't gonna say shit. I think, weren't they supposed to release something with her too when she got in jail?
I saw her name on the phone on the documents. I saw her name on the documents. I'm literally looking at them.
It's fucking sick, dude. It's
Wow.
really fucking sick.
Wow.
Anybody else stand out since you already got the list pulled up?
I'm not. It's not. This is not the list. This is literally just the
entire
documents,
document? I
the
see.
whole document.
Hasn't there been someone to put like the list out there yet? Like for people that don't want to go through 2,000 pages of bullshit? Like, hasn't there been someone putting this in their notes pad to put up on Twitter or something?
All right. Well, I can. Oh my. Wow. There's a lot
Oh,
about
God.
Miss Maxwell in here.
Oh boy.
Maxwell argues that the context of the entire statement, tested against the understandings of the average reader, should be that of a press release as a whole being read only by journalists. However, the ultimate audience for a press release is the public. The motion to dismiss opinion clearly addressed this issue. Sexual assault of a minor is a clear-cut issue. Either transgression occurred or it did not. Either Maxwell was involved or she was not. The issue is not a matter of opinion, and there cannot be differing understandings of the same fact that justify diametrically opposed opinion as to whether Maxwell was involved in Giffrey's abuse as Giffrey has claimed. Either Giffrey is telling the truth about her story and Maxwell's involvement, or Maxwell is telling the truth and she was not involved in the trafficking and ultimate abuse of Giffrey. I don't know if that's how you properly pronounce this person's name, but this is page 2015 of the documents. So I don't know what happened in the first 2014 pages, but that's at the end. So
basically, Giselle Maxwell is saying she's innocent. That's what?
no,
it's
that's just an example of one particular person that's part of this indictment.
I see.
One particular case.
Oh,
Well, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out because God only knows there's going to be a lot of people in Hollywood that are going to catch some sort of indictment or
Yeah.
whatever because of this.
And shout
And
out Jimmy
possibly-
Kimmel. I'm gonna say shout out Jimmy Kimmel because Aaron Rodgers made some backhanded joke about Jimmy Kimmel being on the list, I think last week, and Jimmy Kimmel responded on the show, and people were calling Jimmy soft. He's like, "Oh, he's a comedian. He can't take a joke." That shit's not funny. Like, that's flat out. That's not funny. Making a joke about anybody being on the Epstein list, especially right now, maybe in like 10 years, it'll be funny. Right now, not funny. Not because that could really fuck up someone's career. That's a serious accusation. It's a serious accusation. I have not heard about Chris Tucker being on this list, but Katt Williams for sure said it in his interview. Called him Epstein Chris Tucker. That's Epstein Island Chris Tucker. That's what he called him. Speaking of.
Yeah, this
speaking of,
Katt
let's-
Williams interview is wild, dude. I've seen clips of it online, like him just talking mad shit to everybody. But you, before we started recording, you said he was telling the truth. So I'm curious to know what your point of view on it is. I haven't been able to see the interview, unfortunately.
Katt Williams talked about a lot of people in the industry and a bunch of different things that are going on. A lot of things that people knew, saying that Steve Harvey wore a hairpiece in the 90s. We all knew. I don't know. No one realized that nigga literally had the cleanest lineup in every episode, every interview, every stand-up special. Every time he was hosting an event, he had the same hairline. Gentlemen, that doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. And the moment I pull up these Epstein documents, my computer going crazy. I'm about to close out, nigga. You ain't gonna catch me. Anyways,
FBI, open up.
the one thing that Katt Williams, he was going in on Steve Harvey, saying that Steve Harvey stolen, other people's material. There's a reason why he and Bernie Mac had beef, and it was because of him. Steve Harvey in this entire situation looks real bad, but this also isn't the first time that I've ever heard anyone saying anything against Steve Harvey. It's been clear cut by a lot of people in the industry that Steve Harvey is not the man that he portrays himself to be. And Katt Williams made multiple good points. Steve Harvey has said many times that his current wife, is the reason that he's so successful today. And Katt Williams like, motherfucker, you said that about the first and the second wife. So which one is it? And it makes a good point. He also went in on he and Bernie's relationship. And I just read a story that, back in 2001 when Bernie Mac got the Ocean's 11 trilogy job, Steve Harvey went to the director and producers and tried to snatch the role from behind Bernie's back. And he said, I'm going to take less money too. And the producers let Bernie know. And I think ever since then, Steve and Bernie really weren't good friends. There's a reason why the Kings of Comedy didn't go on another tour. There's a reason there was never another tour. But the thing that stood out to me most was Katt's commentary about Kevin Hart. Now,
See, that's what I've been seeing a lot about too, and that's
the Kevin
where I
Hart
was a little
commentary
perplexed.
is a very catch-22, very double-edged sword. And I'll explain why. Katt was basically saying that, in the heap of his prime, there were many movies and many roles that he was getting or offered that, were giving him large sums of money, 50 million, 25 million for this role in this movie, this role in this TV show, blase, right? And he was saying that he didn't take those roles because some of the roles were a little bit step and fetch it, meaning he was gonna have to do some house nigga shit just to get the role, which he didn't want to do. Nobody wants to do that shit. Nobody wants to do that shit. Nobody wants to play that stereotypical step and fetch it black role in a TV show. Nobody wants to do that. And he was saying that Kevin Hart ended up taking a lot of these roles and was an industry plant. That's what he was calling him. He was saying, he put him in a dress, and Katt said he would never get put in a dress. And then he also stated that Kevin Hart said, "Oh yeah, I'll be in a dress, but you never said that until they offered it to you. You weren't saying that before they asked you to get into the dress in the first place. That was never your original idea. If it was your original idea, it's different. It's not like Martin Lawrence and Big Mama's House. That was his movie. That was his idea. No, now you're forced in a role to be in a woman's dress. Now you're saying you're comfortable doing it. But the catch-22 is this. Katt talks about Kevin Hart in a light, saying that, he's not as funny as him, he's not as great as him, basically saying that Kevin Hart took the career that Katt Williams could have had. Many people have been saying that for years, but I offer this as a rebuttal. While Kevin Hart might have taken some roles that Katt might not have wanted because they were a little bit step and fetch it, at the same time, he took those roles, and in the meantime, since then, since the mid 2000s, Kevin Hart has created a brand. He is one of the biggest movie stars in the entire world. He's one of the highest paid actors in the entire world. He's got all this Netflix money now. Think about all the movies and TV shows that and specials that Kevin Hart has had on Netflix in the past 5 years. Think about what he's done with his friends, the Plastic Cup Boys. He's put all his homies on. He's paying his barber $100,000 a year just to cut his hair and hang out with him. He's put childhood homies in positions of financial freedom where they don't really have to worry about what's next. Because if they ain't got something going on, Kevin gonna have something up there for him. So while I agree with some of the things that Katt Williams said about the course of both of their careers and, the nuances and things that are in between and, within the industry, yeah, Kevin might have taken some roles that maybe Katt didn't want. But look what Kevin has done with those opportunities that he, quote unquote, took from Katt Williams.
Is it a sense of bitterness, though? Because, I mean, at least in this case, when he's talking about Steve Harvey, well, not even Steve Harvey, more Kevin Hart than Steve Harvey, do you think it comes off, player hater-ish?
No.
Or
no. I think
why
he
is
was
that? I'm curious.
I think he was exposing a truth that many people knew, but most didn't have the balls to say in public. I think a lot of the things that he was saying were right. This is not the first time that someone has spoken out about Steve Harvey. This ain't the first time. This is
the first time I'm hearing about it, to be honest.
This is not the first. This is not the first time I've heard that Steve Harvey has a hairpiece. Been new. This is not the first time I heard that Steve Harvey stolen jokes from other comedians. Been new. And when the big comedian that Katt Williams had talked about in comparison was Mark Curry. Mark Curry is a great comedian. Most people don't know about him now because a lot of things that Steve Harvey has done was taken from Mark Curry. Some of the things that he says on his TV show. Mark Curry went on an interview not too long ago and explained that he had temporary beef with Steve Harvey because on his talk show, he did basically all the material Mark Curry did for a Halloween special he did way back in the 90s. So you're taking somebody's material and using it on your show. Yeah, he turned it around a little bit, didn't word for word, bar for bar, but still the same concept. You stole somebody's jokes and used it on your TV show. And the other thing is that people don't realize that the story that he was telling was a personal story of Mark Curry's. So you take a personal story that is somebody else's material and use it as your own on your TV show. That's wrong. The concept for the Steve Harvey show in the 90s was a complete rip-off of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Hanging with Mr. Cooper was Mark Curry's TV show. I think it ran from 92 to 95, 96 or whatever. Steve Harvey show came out in 96. It was basically the same premise. Mark Curry was I think he was a teacher in the school or whatever, or like, he was a teacher or whatever. And, he was doing his thing, typical situational comedy, typical sitcom. Steve Harvey show was the same exact thing. Music teacher coming into a high school, being influential with the kids, situational comedy, normal shit. Same exact thing. Love interest, all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of things that Katt Williams was saying is true, and you can see it. You can see it. It's just that nobody has the balls to say it. Nobody has the balls to say it. That's why I like Ricky Gervais. He says things in public that most wouldn't have the balls to say, but why are people so silent when he says the things? Because we all know it's true, but people are afraid of what could happen to their careers if they decide to come out and say those things. That's why a lot of people are ostracized from Hollywood when they speak out on the industry. I ain't lying.
people reference the Ricky Gervais Golden Globes monologue all the
As
time.
they
Like
should.
every year or so, I see it at least 3 or 4 times that happen on my timelines, and it's
As they
still,
should.
in my opinion, one of the most relevant pieces of not even comedy, of media that portrays the state of Hollywood nowadays. Maybe that's just me,
Yep.
but I haven't seen it gotten any better since then. If anything, it's gotten worse.
If anybody speaks out about the industry, they're crazy. Immediately, they're crazy. They're crazy. Everyone went crazy on Kanye West for what he said about Jews in Hollywood.
Yeah, but
He's
he went.
not
I think he
wrong.
went about it a certain way that
It
rubbed
might have been
people
how
the
he
wrong
went
way.
about it, but he was not wrong. He was not wrong. Jews run Hollywood. They always have. They always have. It's nothing new.
Hell, even South
Nothing
Park made a
new.
joke about that.
We could take it all the way back to Douglas Fairbanks back in the 20s and 30s. No, like Jews have always run the world. Who started Warner Brothers? Who started Paramount? Who are the 2 biggest movie conglomerates in the universe? Warner Brothers, Paramount. Two conglomerates that are consistently pushing out movie after movie after movie after movie. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Who's running the music industry? Not black people. Not black people. Not European whites. Not Asians. Not Africans. Not Canadians. Not Mexicans. It's the Jews. And like people say that, it's like, oh, you can't say. Why not? Why not? Why can't you say that? It's true. It's true.
It's funny you mentioned that because, you and I have been talking back and forth about the whole, how I've been starting to watch The Sopranos finally. And one of the episodes, I think, was in either.
I know exactly what episode you're talking about.
Yeah, a hit is a hit. It was like season 1 or season 2, one of those. And it was all Hesh. Hesh was the guy running all of the stuff. And the one rapper, I forgot his name, he wanted some restitution for what he thought Hesh was stealing from these other artists. There was a whole to-do about it in that episode.
There's actually an episode where Hesh was talking to Tony, and he was like,
"Don't spoil it for me now."
He was, it's not crazy. He was like, I made. He's like, you kidding me? I made a bunch of hits. He was like, you didn't make any hits. A bunch of black kids wrote them and danced them, and you just took all the credit, which is true. Which is true.
I think that was that same episode.
That's literally what the music industry was like back then. Elvis Presley's early hits. Hound Dog. That's not his song. That ain't his song.
No, it's not. Everybody knows that.
That's not his. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
You got any opinions on this, Hunter? You've been a little quiet over there.
I was gonna say, did they get to Hollywood through underground tunnels?
Oh, come on. God damn it.
Hey, man.
God damn it.
Hey, man, it's just a question, and it occurred to my.
Why'd you gotta bring up the fucking Palestine thing?
No, I'm taking up the shit going on in New York.
Oh,
oh wait, that's what's referenced to?
Yeah,
was crazy.
Of course.
Okay, so someone explain this to me, because I thought it was the Palestine-Israel thing.
No, what? No. Yeah. There was was it a synagogue or something? Some Jewish building in New York. They found secret tunnels that Jewish people are going under to do what? I don't know. They're allegedly saying that it was for like sex trafficking children or whatever. And there was a whole hubbub about it because the cops were trying to board them up. But then there's videos of the Jews coming out from like a drainage pipe or whatever that they used as a cover up for the tunnels. It's just wild shit. And there's just this big old hubbub of Jewish people trying to fight off the cops, saying that, oh no, they need to keep it preserved or da. But no, they're trying to board it up. But it's just crazy shit going on.
Surprised it's not the Catholic Church.
To be honest, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's surprising as well. But I mean, the amount of Jewish hate, for lack of better terms, because we've been talking about this the last few times, where it's like, the Palestine-Israel thing and all the Zionists, and we know the Zionists are bad fucking people, but all the regular Jewish people catching strays now because of it. It's a little disturbing if you ask me. And now this is not going to do him any favors, this whole tunnel thing.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I went by. I told you I went by Katt's Deli last week. I thought about defacing the place.
Oh my god.
You are going to be on a fucking list, I swear to God. You always say shit to me with the FBI couldn't get that information. I mean, you were literally fucking outing yourself. Saying wild shit.
Oh, whatever. Listen, 10, 20 years down the line, I don't know. Somebody might pull up this video and say, Dante's anti-Semitic. You know what I'm going to say? Sure. Fuck it. I don't care. Whatever. Sure. Whatever. I'm homophobic. I'm racist. I'm anti-Semitic. What else?
Dante just hates everybody.
Yeah, I hate everybody, guys. That's what it is. That's what it is. Because, you know, at this point, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. People just gonna hear one thing and they gonna run with it, and they don't care about the facts. All they care about is their point of view and their opinion, and they just gonna keep it going. So I'm like, oh, go ahead. I'm telling you, you can say anything on social media right now, and motherfuckers will believe it. Anything. I could literally go on Twitter right now, tell 50 of my friends, be like, yo, all right, at 7:00, we all gonna make this post that Donald Trump is gay and he's been going to gay brothels and getting his asshole ripped apart every night in Vegas. So 50 of my friends, we start a hashtag, we put it out there. By tomorrow, that'll be the biggest news story in the entire world, and everyone's gonna believe it. Little did they know it came from my head.
You know what's the funniest thing about that is, you know what, and you know, it's smart that using Trump, because the people that really fucking hate Trump, who hate him so much that they'll believe anything in regards to disparaging him, will jump right on top of that. And it will. It's a hive mind, dude. It's a hive mind mentality that I can't fucking
They'll just be
stand.
like, yeah, I was there. I was a witness of it. He said, oh, finger me harder.
Yep. Be like, oh yeah, there was this one night I was actually in Vegas and Donald Trump came into this brothel and he sat next to me and we shared a dirty martini and then he gave me his dirty martini. Like, come on, man. Like, bro.
But the thing is like, I think nowadays are kind of catching on to the fact that people only say shit for clout, though.
No, they're not.
Let's be honest.
No, they're not.
Some people are catching on to it. I think it's going to take a lot longer for the majority of people to do, but I think the people that actually use critical thinking skills.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Go right ahead.
You know how for years everyone's saying, oh, Drake doesn't write his own music. Let me tell you how this started. 2015, there was some shit that came out on Twitter that is this writer, ghostwriter, Quentin Miller, that he wrote 100 bands on If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Drake's mixtape came out 2015, right? Ever since then, Drake don't write his own music, man. Drake don't write his own music. He don't write his own music, man. Yeah, Drake got a good album, but yo, who wrote it for him? Who did this? Who did that?
Where's the ghostwriters at, bro?
One story about one song on a mixtape that came out 8 years ago, well, 9 years ago now, has been the bane of Drake's existence when it comes to his pen game. Drake don't write this. Drake can't write that. Just because there was a story that one person wrote or helped write a song for Drake on one of his mixtapes. And that brings into a question that most people I know, they don't understand music, because a lot of your favorite artists don't write all their hits. Michael Jackson ain't write Thriller. Michael Jackson ain't write Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Michael Jackson ain't write Rock With You. I know who wrote them. I know. But people will hear a story and they'll just believe it. They won't look into the facts. Shoot, you could literally listen to any song on Apple Music right now and all the writing credits will be right there after the song is over. It will show you. But nah, he ain't write that. You go on Twitter right now, Someone could be rapping some shit. Oh, I know so-and-so wrote that for him. Yeah, I know he did. Yeah, he ain't write that shit. You know damn well he ain't write that shit. How do you know? How do you know? Because you heard some story from 6, 7, 8 years ago that makes it that reigns true in every song, every album an artist puts out afterwards. Like, we have so many sheep out here that will see a comment on Instagram or Twitter and run with it to a point where you can't even stop the madness. Whether people believe it or not, it's already out there. So the story's never gonna change.
Well, that's with anything nowadays. Not even just music. Like now, all I'm seeing about Steph Curry is how he's an ungrateful sore winner / sore loser, and how he likes feet.
Yeah.
Is there seriously a
Mind
thing
you.
about Steph Curry liking feet?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
first of all, that Ayesha Curry interview was like from 4 years ago. I remember it. I was just as pissed now as I am back then because I'm like, Ayesha, what are you doing? What
I can't stand her.
What are you? Well,
personally.
first of all, you cannot call yourself the undercover brother and disrespect one of the most beautiful queens that ever.
Oh
stepped
no,
foot
I
on
believe she's an
Let's
attractive
not do
woman, but
that.
personality-wise, I
do
just
that.
don't care for her.
I
Plus, they
mean,
hate affordable housing near them.
I mean, listen, if I'm spending 6, 7 figures to live in a neighborhood, no, I don't want to be around a bunch of poor homeless people. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest with you. I'm just keep it a beam. Keep it a beam.
How much in taxes are you spending?
Y'all can cancel me. Y'all cancel me. All I'm saying is, I
least he's
worked my
honest.
ass off. I worked my ass off to make millions. I'm paying for a crib that's surrounded by a bunch of properties that's gonna drive down the property value of the crib I just bought. Hell no.
Move out and sell it.
I didn't make these millions to live around a bunch of dollar heirs, single heirs,
A bunch of middle class people.
a bunch of
Fuck
middle
that.
class broke bastards. No, hell
I don't even know
no.
if we call them middle class. Maybe it might be worse than middle class.
Hell no. Hell no. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. That's when people get the shit fucked up. Steph Curry is racist. Steph Curry doesn't like affordable housing. Yeah, you can have affordable housing in this unaffordable ass neighborhood. No, get the fuck out of here. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Affordable houses should be in affordable neighborhoods, not unaffordable streets, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Can't have a you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Man.
Like, come on, man. I'll be driving down Melrose. Ooh, Gucci store. Ooh, that's a nice crib. Homeless shelter.
Soup kitchen. What the fuck
Oh
is this
hell
shit?
no. Oh hell no. Going down Rodeo Drive and see a fucking soup kitchen. Fuck out of here. Oh,
Honey,
hell
pack
no.
your bags. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Oh no,
Where
bro.
the fuck's there a Goodwill next to it?
Could you imagine just
Put the house
driving
on the market now before it goes down too far.
facts, bro? I'm in Soho and then bam, halfway house. Oh fuck, next to the Gucci store. Oh hell no. Oh hell.
Oh
No.
my god.
Oh my god.
No. Hey, I wanna veer. I wanna change directions. Draymond Green.
Oh boy.
Draymond Green. Now, gentlemen, I want us to be respectful in this conversation. I want us to understand that we're talking about a man who has been through some shit. Okay. I don't want any low blows. Okay.
We certainly know he's used to doing those on the court.
Let's not get choked up over the situation. Let's just make sure we deliver the news. We're delivering the news. And the news is Draymond is off suspension. He should be back soon. But I watched his interview on Draymond Green's show, and I gotta say, everyone's hating on him again. Oh, you was about to retire because you can't stop punching people, can't stop doing this, can't stop doing that.
That's the memes I saw of it, to be honest.
And that's just people that just love talking shit. But in reality, how many grown men do you know would hop on a mic and be that vulnerable and honest about their experience? He admitted, he was like, I was doing wrong. I wasn't on the right path. I wasn't in the right headspace. Right. he admitted that he and Steve Kerr literally cried during a conversation talking about the future of his career. He talked about how he wanted to retire, but the NBA commissioner was like, nah, I can't let you walk out on that. I can't let you walk out like that, man. You got a man who's in a position of power who sees your value to the team and to the league. You have a head coach who has an emotional connection to you, who has been with you through the ups and downs, literally all the ups and downs. I mean, let's be honest, like Draymond might not even have the same career he does now without Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr gave him that starting opportunity. People forget, before 2014, Draymond was coming off the bench in garbage minutes. He was the one who told Andre Iguodala to come off the bench and be the sixth man, and that turned that team into a dynasty 6-7 years later.
Did
Well, 10
Draymond get
years later
drafted
now.
by Golden State? I forget.
Yes, he did. Tried and
So he's
true.
been on there his entire career.
His whole career. The past 13 years in the league, he's been in Golden State. And I got to commend him for going on the mic and being as transparent as he was about his experiences. There's not many athletes now, I mean, still playing. And I'll be like, yo, bro, I was crying. I was thinking about retirement. I didn't know what I could do. I couldn't handle it anymore. There was too much pressure. There was a lot going on. I don't know what made Draymond do the things he did. I don't know. Do I think he got caught up in the moment way too many times? Yeah. Yes. Do I think Draymond made some dirty plays? Yes. Do I think Draymond had moments where his instincts got the best of him? Yes. But he is still, to this very day, one of the best to lace them up, one of the smartest to lace them up, one of the most winning basketball players to lace them up on all levels. High school, college, NBA, international, across the whole board. You can say, oh, he plays with Steph Curry, oh, he can't do this, can't do that. Most people that make those statements don't understand basketball to that level. Because Draymond Green is not ass. Draymond Green is one of the smartest high IQ basketball players I've ever seen in my entire life. And only people that understand the smallest nuances of the game of basketball can say that. But the thing that I hate most is that you just got all these people that are just still shitting on him for being vulnerable on his podcast. And that just goes to show that men cannot be vulnerable about their feelings and emotions without being ridiculed, without being made fun of. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. It doesn't. It's weird. It's weird energy.
I sympathize with that to a point. There's a couple points I want to make about this based on what you just said. For one, at least for me, in regards to Draymond and how, he's going to act going forward and how he says he wants to do better. I think it's, at least for me, I'm not so much of believing the words as I am believing the actions. Because let's be honest, the last couple of years, especially since the Jordan Poole incident,
That's fair.
there have been signs of anger management issues with
Jordan
Draymond.
Poole incident was bullshit. I'm just putting Jordan.
I'm not saying I understand that, but at the same time, one, it should never have been leaked to begin with. Two, it probably could have been avoided entirely. I don't know who's at fault for what. I don't remember the story all that much. I just remember the actions. That's all anyone ever remembers is the actions. Then you have the Rudy Gobert choking situation, which you and I discussed on a previous episode, which was funny, and fuck Rudy Gobert, but still uncalled for on the court. Then you get into the whole punching thing, and, again, there are signs that there was an issue. I hope this time off for him has changed his mindset to be better. But it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. And there's still a lot of basketball left in the season, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a lot of time to make up for that. And I hope he does. I really hope he does.
The real test for Draymond moving forward is when he gets tested. Because this is just me. As a basketball player, if I know I'm going up against a guy who's got a short fuse, I'm doing everything I can to make him go off. I might shove him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I might pinch him. You know what I'm saying? He might run through the paint. Might give him a little quick elbow or something to make him just go off. And once Draymond gets kicked out of a game, the dynamic of the game changes. I truly think that Draymond being out all this time has not been good for Golden State at all.
No, it shows in their performance.
They don't have the toughness. They don't have an emotional leader. And those are the things that Draymond does on a court that people don't give him any credit for. Being an emotional leader is important. So important. Bringing toughness to a basketball team just based off your play is extremely important. For years, Draymond took a lot of weight off of Steph and KD's shoulders. They didn't have to play the best player on the other team. Draymond had that. You look back at those games against the Clippers back in the day. Steph was not guarding Chris Paul. Draymond was. Not Steph. Took the weight off his shoulders. When it's real easy to be the best shooter in the world when you got the best defensive player in the league at the time. It is. And people don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about the getting kicked in the nuts and, you got a quadruple single. Let me tell you something. If you got a player that's consistently putting up 5+ in 3 to 4 different stat categories a game, that's huge. That's huge, bro. It's called knowing your role, playing your role. You got to play your role, baby. You got to play your role. So many guys now don't play their role and they don't understand their role. And that's the problem. That's the problem with sports now. I don't know if you want to get into that conversation, but that is the problem with sports now. Not enough guys know their role. What do you do that makes the team great? What do you do that makes the team successful? Ain't nobody asked Draymond Green to score 25 points a game. Just like no one's asking Steph Curry to get multiple defensive stops a game. He ain't Marcus Smart. Steph Curry. Oh, Jokic don't play no defense. Who the fuck needs Jokic to play defense? That nigga can get you a triple-double whenever he wants to. He don't need to play defense. He doesn't need to.
He don't even need to play offense.
He really doesn't. Because
all he has to do is pass. He just passes. That's all he has to do.
That's the ball. It's that's the thing people just don't understand when it comes to sports. Everybody has a role. Everybody does what makes them great. Dennis Rodman is in the Hall of Fame because he was just that good of a rebounder. 7 straight years leading the league in rebounds is insane. It's insane. It's insane. In 95, this dude grabbed, I think it was 35% of all total rebounds. What? Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Dikembe in the Hall of Fame for what? Getting buckets? Hell no. Blocking shots and a finger wag. Everybody has a role. Everybody has a role, but you just got to play it. You got to know your role and do that role, play that role to the best of your ability. That's how it works. That's how it works. And if you can't do that, then you don't play. Point blank period. Point blank period. You can't tell somebody to do something that they can't do. Just like you can't tell a white woman to act like a strong black woman when that's not who they are.
I need me a Coretta Scott King or a Michelle Obama by my side.
Is that nigga serious?
Why did he say that? Why did he say that?
Is he serious?
Come on.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Just straight off of that, guilty. Just guilty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
We don't have to get into it.
He's bad. I'm not getting into that. I really, I don't know, man. I don't know what she was thinking.
One more thing I want to get into. What's this beef with? We've been talking about beefs all episode. What's this beef with Stephen A. and Jason Whitlock? Somebody educate me on this. I couldn't watch the video in time.
That fat bastard.
That fat
piece of
son of a bitch. You piece of shit.
I know how Stephen A. gets. He goes in his rants and everything, like a lot of commentators do. I don't know how people acting like Steve Stephen A. Smith's the only one that goes on rants, but I know why they act like that, but I ain't gonna get into it. But I've been listening to Stephen A. Smith for, I say 10 years now. 10 years. A good 10 years. I started listening to him like literally 10 years ago when he had his radio show, Stephen A. Orion Rucco. And as long as I've been listening to him and watching him on TV, I have never, ever, ever seen or heard Stephen A. Smith talk about any of his colleagues or people on other networks. I've never heard him talk about them. And he made this clear on his show. Not like talk about them, but talk about them in a negative light. Never. Ever.
I've never heard it. Even when he and Skip Bayless broke off from First Take, I never heard
hear him say anything bad. He always praises him. He's like, Skip is the reason why I'm here. He gave me a shot and I took advantage of it. Jason Whitlock's.
That's a hater right there.
Jason Whitlock, for many people, he's like, oh, he speaks the truth. And he's, first of all, Jason Whitlock is a conservative black man, which I don't want to get political. Conservative black
should have
people,
nothing to do with it, to be honest.
Conservative black people, sometimes their approach to things can get taken the wrong way. For years, Jason Whitlock has been going at Stephen A. Smith, saying things about his career, about his takes. And when you're constantly over and over and over and over and over again bashing a man's personal life and their career, there's only but so much you could take. And Stephen A. knows, he even said it on the show. He's like, I know I shouldn't respond, but I can't just let this fat bastard keep talking about me. I don't say anything about it. And I don't blame him. I don't like Jason Whitlock at all. I think some of the things he says are just, he actually attacks people. He loves attacking people. One person in particular he's loved attacking over the past year has been Deion Sanders. Oh, he's loved attacking Deion.
Wait, what is he attacking Deion for? What the fuck?
Oh, he was hating on Deion when he left Jackson State. You know, how most black people are. Oh, yo, we want to talk about bringing up the community, but then we go to these schools and then we just leave them. What was he supposed to do? I want to stick on that. What was Deion supposed to do? Just stay at Jackson State, have his son play there. No one really grows from the situation. I hope people understand that there are great players that come from HBCUs. It's happened. The Walter Paytons, the Michael Strahans, the Jerry Rices. Yes, the Shannon Sharps. Yes, happened. Few and far in between. There's absolutely nothing wrong with leaving one situation for a better situation, for a better opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. But the sad thing is that in our community, when we do that, you're an Uncle Tom, or you're not looking out for the community, or you don't care about your community, or you're putting the community behind and you're making money for the white man. That's what it is.
It's the same shit that we were talking about last episode with the whole fucking Dr. Umar thing. It's the exact same fucking concept.
Exactly what it is. He even invited two former kids that were on Jackson State, that were on Colorado last year, meaning last year, before all the transfers and everything. And, the kids were like, oh, he's like, he has I guess Prime has a sign on his door that says, take your shoes off before you walk in. And, Jason Whitlock is just going off and saying, oh, he's so arrogant. He's this, he's that. And just the disrespect that Jason Whitlock puts on a lot of people. And I'm like, bro, you're not on Fox anymore for a reason. ESPN doesn't invite you on as a guest commentator anymore for a reason.
Don't forget the shit he was saying about Ja Morant. Remember the fucking Tupac and Ja Morant comparison he made when the whole thing broke down last year with him? By the way, get well soon, Ja Morant. Feel bad for the guy. He just came back and got hurt. But I had never heard anything from Jason Whitlock in my life. And as a big Tupac fan, and I was a little hard on Ja Morant in the situation he was in, but that was too far, man. That was just too far. And the shit he was saying, it made me genuinely angry. That was the first I had ever heard anything that Jason Whitlock had said in my life. I swear to God, all my life.
I didn't like him when he was on Fox with Colin Cowherd. I didn't like him. I did not like him at all.
That's a player hit right there, man.
I don't like him. His takes are sometimes too damn far, and I'll speak on this too. A lot of people say that all Stephen A. Smith does, he tears down black athletes, and all he does is talk. I'm so tired of black people saying that. Shut the fuck up. You hear me? Shut the fuck up. The best athletes are black. What's Stephen A. Smith supposed to do? Just let every single thing that everybody does swept under the rug? Has nothing to do with black or white. He's giving his opinion on situations that happen around the leagues in our country. NFL, MLB, NBA is what it is. That's what they talk about. And I heard some people saying, "Oh, he goes off on all these black athletes, but he didn't have anything to say about Josh Giddey." He gave his opinion on Josh Giddey, and I thought it was a very just like everybody else did. I was like, "There's a lot of misinformation out here about Giddey."
I was gonna say that still hasn't gotten.
There was a lot of misinformation. Exactly, there's a lot of misinformation out there about Josh Giddey, but it's almost like if you're a black commentator commentating on sports, you can't say anything negatively about a black athlete or you're labeled as an Uncle Tom. And there's a difference between saying something negatively about a situation that an athlete is part of and just speaking negatively about an athlete.
I mean, for how long? Stephen A. was talking, I don't want to say shit, but he was saying a lot of criticisms towards Kyrie when the whole thing with him was going down.
That had nothing to do with Kyrie being black. He just didn't agree with his points.
Yeah, exactly. He criticized Kyrie for his action. I believe he criticized Ja when that whole situation was going down.
As he should. As
they should. People in the public eye, especially athletes, should be criticized for shit that affects them and their franchises. That's a fact.
You know what Stephen A. was supposed to do in the eyes of the community? What he was supposed to do?
What were they supposed to do?
Ja, he's just going through a lot of stuff right now, man. And, it really wasn't that bad. He didn't shoot the gun. The gun wasn't real. Oh, we can't just let them tear down another black man for making a minor bad decision. It's like,
I feel like that would have worked. And again, coming from a white guy, it shouldn't fucking matter. But I feel like that sort of response would have worked if it wasn't a repeat offense. It's one thing for it to happen once and be like, oh, it's a mistake. We get it. To happen multiple times, though, at that point, all bets are off and you deserve whatever comes your way as far as criticism goes.
I thought the first time he should have been criticized, and I had nothing.
I agree with that too.
Black or white, if it was some white dude out there flinging around a gun, he probably would have gotten it worse because they'd been like, "Oh shit, what the fuck he gonna do with that shit? He got a backpack." It's. Listen, man. I don't know. Jason Witlock is a fat bastard. He shouldn't be commenting on anything but snacks. I agree. There's a reason he has his podcast on YouTube where he could, spread his conservative views and ABC and all the kind of shit he does. That's cool.
Don't worry. YouTube will ban him soon enough for whatever the fuck he says. They ban all the conservatives on there, and that's just a fact.
Fat bastard.
Fat piece of shit.
Shout out Stephen A. I love Stephen A. in this light, though. I love Stephen A. in this light.
Yo. One thing, though, I will say, Stephen A. Smith, fake Knicks fan. I'm on that hype train.
Fake Knicks fan? How's he a fake Knicks fan?
I've been seeing a lot of discourse online about his response to the Knicks and at the time 5-game win streak that they were going on ever since the OG Anunoby trade went down. But I don't know, man. He claims to be a lifelong Knicks fan, but sometimes the shit he says is just like, eh.
Why? Because he's honest about the Knicks.
Everybody should be honest about the Knicks, but for Christ's sake, man, have a little bit of joy to you that the team that you claim to love so much was doing so well up until fucking last night.
What joy could you possibly have as a Knicks fan?
I mean, we're not completely shit.
What joy? Please tell me the joy that you get from being a Knicks fan year to year. Please tell me, Matt. Please tell me
Listen,
right now.
To be fair, there hasn't been much joy outside of the last couple of years. Everything before maybe the last 2 or 3 years has been nothing but pain. Outside of the mellow years, the first few mellow years.
When's the last time you legitimately thought y'all had a chance to win a championship?
Last year,
1994.
I wasn't even born then. I
1994.
wasn't even born then.
Interesting point, Matt. The last time you were legitimate contenders was before you were born, which tells me.
How are you gonna hold that against me when I wasn't even born then?
Which
Come
tells
on.
me, I'm trying to prove my point here. Which tells me
Prove your point.
you have not had a single ounce of joy being a Knicks fan your entire life. You might have had some moments of excitement.
Fair.
Casual insanity run.
Me,
I've
had moments of joy. I have had moments of joy. I have witnessed my team won multiple championships. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
I've seen us in a Western Conference Finals multiple times. I've seen it. But y'all, come on, man. The Toronto Raptors fans have had more ounces of joy than you have in the past 5 years, and you've had your entire life.
Got more joy than Sixers fans.
That's because they have joy out off of your expense. They have joy because of you.
Knicks fan. I tell you, last week I was in New York. I walked down the street. I said, "Fuck it." I was like, "Hey, yo, fuck the Knicks."
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
You did not. What happened?
Yeah, I did.
Did you get stomped out by Tims or something?
Yeah, I got stomped out by a bunch of Tims. Come on, man. I was rolling with homies. I rolling deep. No, I mean, you know how Knicks fans be. Hey, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, it is. Hey, man, New York is an interesting place. I walked out of this restaurant, right? I was in Soho. Walked out of the restaurant.
I was going to say, before you go, how was you and Tave's trip to New York?
Because I heard really good
Tave
show.
had
Really
a little
good
event
show.
going
Yeah,
on there.
it was a really good show. You know, Tave did well. You know, he had his ups and downs. You know, I'm honest. I'd say out of 10, his performance was a 7.5. 7.5. You know, he has some improvements to make in terms of stage presence. And that comes with time. But we were talking about it the other day. A year ago, we were going to random bars, performing at open mic nights. And in the past 6 months, he's performed at Nodo to open up for G Herbo. He's done yet another performance in New York last week. Put out 10 songs, 10 plus songs in the past year. And that just shows, that comes with growth and that comes with consistency. And, him and I have both consistently been working, me just making these damn videos and recording and taking pictures all over the damn place. I can't tell you how much I drive and A, B, and C just to be his media guy, but I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? The hours that he's spent in the studio, hours on fucking 6-hour sessions. We just in there putting in work. It shows. It shows. So, the performance was good. Like I said, he's got to work on a little bit of stage presence, but that just comes with time. Not everybody can stand up on stage. I don't care how big or small the venue is. That's really, really difficult to be able to hold somebody's attention for a long period of time when it's just you up there. I've done it before. It's not easy. So, I'm really proud of, everything that he's been able to do. He did a really good job last Friday, and then there's more things coming, where we've, there's been opportunities to perform at Nodo again. It will happen. I promise it will happen again.
I'm gonna try and make it to that one.
As I said, things are definitely gonna happen. But he's doing a tremendous job. I'm really, really proud of all the progress and work that he's put in, and it's gonna show. It's gonna show.
Because I wanted to say, because I meant to bring this up last week or at whatever point the last episode we recorded, because I know it was coming up at that. But no, shout out Tave, man. He's been, like you say, he's been grinding out there. He's a friend of the show. He supports our shit. We support his stuff. It's always good to see another brother of the show do his thing.
Yeah, no, he's doing an excellent job right now. Go stream Tony Soprano. It's a hit. It's a hit. I'm just letting y'all know. Go stream Tony Soprano. But yeah, man, we on the up and up. It's just you just gotta stay consistent. And I can say that we have stayed. Him and I specifically have stayed consistent. Tave is officially solo now. I hate to break that. QC is dead. QC is no more. That's just some private manners. I'm not going to talk about on the show, but I will say this though, because you know me.
More out of pocket shit from you.
In this game of life, right? You got a lot of people that can do many different things. You got a lot of people that have certain talents that can do A, B, and C, right? But even though they could do all these things, even though they have all these talents, not everybody understands the amount of work that it takes to be great or be successful at whatever you do. And I say that to say this. Just because your boys are doing well does not mean they're going to bring you along with them because you're boys. That's not how it works. You got to provide something. You have to provide something. You can't just ride someone's coattail to the top. You just can't. You can't. So if you think that somebody is going to be putting in all the work, all the hard work, all the financial support, all the marketing, everything into something that you claim you want, but you ain't putting in that same amount of work, you can't get mad when you don't get the same results. You just can't. You can't. And I'm speaking to someone specifically, but I ain't gonna name drop because I don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
But I say this to say that I think this person has a lot of talent. I think this person has a lot of potential, but I think this person is lazy. I think this person has a shitty work ethic. I think this person does not have the best outlook on life because a lot of things have been catered towards him and he's been coddled so much to a point now where in certain instances, I think it's too late. But I don't think it's ever too late to grow up and learn from your mistakes and learn from bad decision making. But, if you're ever going to be successful, you can't ride somebody's coattail to the top. It just doesn't work out. You got to put in the same amount of work or even more to be just as successful as anybody else. And that's just the game.
24. It's 2024 now, and obviously the show's been going on for, about a year and a half now. I mean, shit, we've been going a long time, and I think this year is going to be really good for all of us, man. I think to echo what you said, I know you're talking about Tave and music in general, but at least as far as we all go, and this includes Mike, I think we have the potential to do something really great this year. I do. I believe in the product that we put out. There's a lot of people that have been listening to the show that are new people, as I mentioned last episode, and since then, that have reached out to me and told me they like the show. And I think we have the potential to do something really great, man. I see a lot of opportunities for us.
I believe Angela White will be a guest on the Bro Migos podcast this year.
I can't guarantee that, but I did get the chance to interview her on another show, so that was great. Hey, listen, episode 69, I'm going to try and get us a porn star, I swear. I promise.
She got to get naked.
Coming up soon. What?
For the Patreon.
Calm down. Calm down.
What?
Can I do the closing now? Can I take us to church?
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been episode 67 of the Bro Migos podcast. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all the support you've been giving us since we started the show, man. Like I said, a lot of people have been out there listening to the old episodes, supporting our stuff. So thank you. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Good Pods, so many more podcasting platforms. Search up the Bro Migos podcast. We're the only ones that actually still fucking produce content that have this name, so you can't miss us. What are y'all waiting for? Follow us on Twitter at Bromigos Pod, Instagram and Facebook, the Bromigos Pod, TikTok, the Bromigos Podcast. Who wants to talk about the YouTube?
If you don't sub to the YouTube, you're going to be on the Epstein list.
Don't want to make the list.
You don't want to be on that same list with Jimmy Buffett and Stephen Hawking watching midgets draw equations, try to solve it.
I mean, he's not wrong. Do you want to be on the list? Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the same list with Bill Clinton, fucking 10-year-olds or whatever.
I mean, it must have been a fun time, right?
All right.
Like, reliving their youth on the island.
Yeah, solving equations in front of Stephen Hawking, butt ass naked. Bill Clinton walking in saying, "Oh, I'd love a piece of that. Let me solve your equation."
Oh my god! I'm not going to say it. I had something I was going to say. It's out of podcast.
Trump was on the island too.
That's true. Trump was on the island.
Okay.
He said, "Aren't you the greatest?
Before we go.
Are you the greatest child in the world? Why don't you show Donald who runs the show?" Okay.
If you had the opportunity to go to the island, what's the first thing you doing?
I am not incriminating myself. We are not having this conversation.
What you gonna do?
If I had a chance to go back to the island, I'd go back to where I had my stay at my hotel with Ivanka, where I would recreate the same steps that I recreated 20 years ago, okay? When I went on the island and I went to go find the little children, okay? I wanted to see what they were doing, okay? Walk right in, saw them butt-ass naked with Stephen Hawking, okay? Solving equations, and wanted to say, "What are you doing?" And they say, "Oh, we're solving equations." Okay. Can I join in? And then go from there.
Stephen Hawking was helping him out with their Algebra 1 homework in high school. Goddamn.
And Trump was the tutor. Okay.
Some pretty incriminating statements you boys just made.
I didn't say shit.
I didn't do it. Trump did.
You just went on the whole monologue.
I didn't say anything. I just
Hey,
asked
man,
the
that was
question.
all Trump. I didn't say shit.
I just asked the question. Y'all answered it. I didn't say shit.
I did it. Good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. See you next week.
You've been listening to the Bromigos podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Avita! That's okay! She'll be back. Another